I was asked to talk about the role of the NGOs in the frame of the global study on children deprived of liberty. First of all, I would like to say that I think that without the NGO world, this study would have never happened. The NGO were very committed from the very beginning to ensure that this study starts, was discussed and could be realized. It is the NGO and some NGO in particular, DCI, Defense for Children International, Human Rights Watch and some others, who started the process launching a call to the Committee on the Rights of the Child, first of all, to ask for this global study to be conducted. And this is how it started from the very beginning. A few NGOs gathering, thinking about the content of the study, how it should be done, what kind of lobby and advocacy should be done to ensure that it would happen. Then contact with the Committee on the Rights of the Child, contact with several UN agencies, and then trying to coordinate a move and coordinate a strong coalition of different stakeholders to ensure that this would happen and to launch this call to the General Assembly. And we were very happy to see that it did happen at the end, and we did have this resolution of the UN asking to the Secretary General to appoint an independent expert to launch the study. And this resolution does mention explicitly the NGO world and the civil society. So that was also very important from the very beginning. Civil society has been seen as an important actor in the frame of this global study. The NGO panel that was created in the frame of this global study now gathers more than 150 NGOs at national, regional and also international level, and so gathering a lot of experience, expertise in different fields, and these NGOs were also able to really bring the experience and the knowledge from the field and ensure that this experience is reflected in the drafting of the global study and also in the whole the whole study. For instance, the NGO were constantly in contact with the independent expert, with other stakeholders like the UN task force, but also the academic world and other people who were involved in the global study. We, at times, were even the link between all those stakeholders to ensure that everyone was talking to the other ones and looking for other actors that needed to be involved in this study. At national level, so the civil societies were also asked to take part to the global study, to contribute to it, to bring their expertise, to ensure that the experience coming from the field is fully reflected in the global study, which is the case now, and that's extremely important, because otherwise this study would only be very theoretical or global, but without a concrete experience coming from the field. And that was possible thanks to the NGO. Most of the NGO in the NGO panel do have contact links or even members at national level that were able to contribute to the study with different kind of expertise or experience in different fields, some in migration, other ones in juvenile justice, and then also in the field of, let's say, health, institution, and so on. So we had NGOs in all areas of research of the global study. And this also was probably one of the important input that the NGO could bring is also to ensure that all kind of deprivation of liberty were really researched and reflected in the study. I would say that last but not least, the NGO have also worked in the field of fundraising for the global study. It may sound strange that the civil society had to fundraise for a UN study, but to be frank, if this did not happen, the global study would probably not have been a success like it will hopefully be at the end of the day. Even though we had to work with very basic means and a few financial means, many NGOs did contribute in kind, voluntarily to the global study. So once again, that was a very tangible contribution from the NGO. Now for the future, I think that the civil society still has a very important role in the follow-up of the study. We know from the previous studies that we have there people committed to use the global study, to use the conclusion and the recommendation that come from the study to make sure that something happens on the field and that the study will have an impact, a concrete impact on the life of children. And this is where many NGOs can also help to bring this conclusion at the national level, to promote it towards different stakeholders, again at national level. And this is where the change has to happen at the end of the day. So yeah, more or less I can say that the NGO have had very concrete and important contribution to the global study, of course with other stakeholders, but with a specific and very, I think, positive input in it.